Geek Squad podcast, episode 6. I think this will probably be on the shorter side since it is the day after Christmas when we're recording. We're in the midst of a holiday week. Like, are you guys working? Are you guys technically working today or are you off?
Always working. Always. But no, technically, I think we have a holiday today, Bill, but I took like the week as PTO and
Okay.
actually next week. But I don't know. I'm always on. If we have an emergency, I'll be there. If you're here, if you're hearing this and you need me, get a hold of me.
If you're having
I'm
a
not working.
fertilizer crisis,
Hey,
Yeah.
it happens.
Seth,
I'm
are
off.
you on the clock today or is this a vacation day? I don't even know if it's a vacation day.
He's in
for
the
us.
library.
I'm in the library. Yeah, doing
Oh,
work.
that's true.
I think technically we have today off
Okay.
as like a floating holiday, but I always take the 2 weeks off between like Christmas and New Year's. I take those full 2 weeks off, so
Okay.
it's like, quite nice. So this is pure enjoyment, really.
Love it. Well, I
Yeah.
appreciate your time. And I think it's good. We wanted to catch up anyways. First off, what'd you guys think about having a guest for episode 5? I mean, I personally thought Stephanie brought a pretty good perspective. She had the right humor and go with the flow attitude. What'd you guys think?
Yeah, no, I think I'm a little bit nervous though because she was so good, and I think I'm like, will she replace me or Mason? Well, she replaced Mason, but like, am I up for like replacement? That's she was that good.
Well, we weren't like auditioning her to take over. I mean, we've only done 5 episodes. We can't change up the lineup already, but I mean, we'll put her on the list if we
changes
decide to
need to be
replace
made.
You know what? It was nice, the different perspective. Actually, I liked that she was not into Cloud Dancer because I actually thought she was going to be into it when she was like, I have a lot to say. So I thought I would be like opposite of her, but then to hear her like, not love it, I actually, I like that.
Yeah, Mason was on that island all alone, the Cloud Dancer Island.
Like I said, I defended it, but I mean, I'm also not going out and doing my yard in monochromatic white next year. But at the same time, like I don't know. This is the color of the year is insignificant. And as I Googled this last week, I was like, oh, color of the year. It turns out that it used to be just like Pantone did their color of the year. But now if you go out, there's like 30 colors of the year. Everybody's like, here's our color.
Right.
And so I don't know.
And I think even Pantone has multiples. Like, it's not like one color all year. They have like seasonal colors and it's like a whole list of colors, and it probably covers everything. There's probably like every color in the rainbow probably has a representative for the year.
Yeah. I mean, this does scream, we were talking about this. I mean, milk has to be involved in Cloud Dancer being color of the year. Big Milk.
Yeah.
I mean, they're notorious. Like, you Got Milk campaign wouldn't shock me. They're like, hey, we need people to drink more milk. Cloud Dancer.
There you go. It's a great idea for the dairy industry. Probably needs to. I mean, they had the chocolate milk campaign was huge for a while.
Yeah.
And before we started, we were talking about post-workout drinks, and a lot of people do drink chocolate milk. Like, that's not uncommon. But it's brown color. That was last year's color. This year is Cloud Dancer milk.
Yeah, that's like a recipe for disaster for me, by the way. Post-workout milk.
A lot of dairy.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I've never been diagnosed, but I've got to believe I'm lactose intolerant. One time when I was coaching wrestling in the summer, we had like a workout.
Appropriate? Should you be talking about this?
Like, where are you going with this?
Yeah,
it's appropriate.
Maybe.
But I was like an assistant coach, and he was like, hey, take those guys for a run and then swing them back by Dairy Queen. And it was in July. We were doing like off-season run. He's like, swing back by Dairy Queen. I'll buy them all an ice cream. Don't tell them that. But when we get there, So we get there, and I'm like, okay. And he's like, here's an ice cream. And I was like, no, it's okay. I don't want it. And it was like my first day.
89 degrees out, and you're like, I'm not doing that.
And it was my first day as assistant coach, like my first workout I'm leading. And he's like, no, I already paid for it. And I felt bad. I didn't know the head coach at this point yet. And he's like, no, I already paid for it. So I'm like trying to be a nice guy. And I just like huff down this ice cream. And like, he's like, all right, I'm going back to the high school, drives back. And he's like, walk these guys back. So I walk them back and I'm telling these kids, I'm like, I'm lactose intolerant. Like, this was a bad move. And so thankfully I had a gym membership. And so I had to stop and use the facilities at the gym on my way home from about 5 miles. So, yeah, milk and I, not great.
Yep. I guess if you do that, you need to have a plan in place, a
Always.
location to stop at. No,
But
that's probably
it
good
was a funny
advice.
story for the next 5 years coaching because
Mm.
Yeah.
the kids told the head coach, and he was like, "Why did you eat it? Why did you eat that?" I was like, "I don't know. I wanna make a good impression." He's like, "You're an idiot." But,
No.
yeah.
The things we do to try to make a good impression that later backfire, them I'm actually gonna put that in our notes. That might be a good
Mm.
topic
Sure, we can
to
all come up
dig
with a
into.
couple of
Oh, yeah.
interesting stories.
Yeah, I have one that involves my father-in-law and me breaking my tailbone, but that's a different story
Mm.
for a different day. But I do wanna talk a little. Okay, so consensus is we like the guest
Yeah.
format. We gotta be selective. I mean, Stephanie was great because 'cause we've all been friends for a really long time. She understands how we work, our sense of humor, that it is gonna maybe get a little goofy here and there, but that we do all have this passion for an industry that should, flow through the conversation, so
I do
good.
have one thing is what if the so you we had a list of topics, right, for her to pick
Yeah,
from. What if we flip it and the guest sends you like 3 topics that they'd love to talk about or shoot the
okay,
breeze on with
yeah.
us, and then we kind of choose like, "Hey, we would love to chime in on this one." And so then they can kinda steer the conversation based on like what their interests are.
I like that. There we go. I'm putting that's gonna happen. That is
Alright,
a really
cool.
good plan. It'll keep us on our toes and, help keep the conversation fresh because it won't be us coming up with the topics, we'll just get to react. I like that.
Yeah.
Less prep work on our end too. All right, let's talk about Christmas. Yesterday, as we record this, yesterday was Christmas. We were talking a little bit before the episode that it's a little bit different in our different households because of the age of kids. Maybe the belief in the magic of Christmas might wane as you get a little bit older, but I don't know. We had a good one. I think we had a lot of time with grandparents and parents and cousins. My kids like their presents, which is a tough one with teenage daughters to get them things that they get excited about. They got some of the bigger things like an iPad or a Fitbit, but I want to say one of the favorite gifts for my oldest, who's 17, was a Lego Millennium Falcon, which is pretty cool because we just sort
Sorry, I'm
of
just
picked it when
adjusting
we were
myself
walking
from
through the store. We were like, I bet she'd love this. She used to like Legos, and she was psyched and put it like up there on the top of the list with some jewelry that she also
Hmm.
got. So I don't
How
know.
many
I
how
think
many
the
piece
magic of Christmas was alive and well in our house. But how about you guys,
wait,
especially with some of the younger kids?
how many pieces did the Millennium Falcon have?
Oh gosh, I don't know. It was a lot. I feel like the age on it was like it was like a high teenage age,
Oh,
like
that's cool.
18 or 16 or something. So it's gonna be a it's gonna be a project.
One of my buddies, one of my fraternity brothers in college, while we were in college, bought one night. Like, he was just like,
Mm.
"I picked this up. Gonna build this tonight." And I was like, I came back the next day and I was like, "You did not build it in a night. The pieces are everywhere."
Yeah.
So,
Well, she's a little more focused probably and
yeah.
highly intelligent. So we'll see how that goes. I'll
Yeah,
update you as the Falcon is built.
all right. But we need to see photos.
Yeah. All right. We can do that.
Yeah, tell us about Mason. You sent a video. Looks like you guys had some fun over there.
Yeah, no, so I got toddlers, right? So this is at the opposite end of that, which I said, like, it's kind of talking about the gifts, that is terrifying because, like, my daughter's big gift was I think it was Minnie Mouse, or maybe it's just Play School, whatever, like one of those vanity. And so when you
Oh,
pick up the hair dryer out of it, it goes and it like has like lights on it. And she got a little stool. And like we weren't trying to thrift it, but they don't make this model anymore. Her friend has it. She really liked it. So we are like, okay. So we found one on Facebook Marketplace and it cost me $15 to get this. And this is her big giant gift. Um Now my son's, but I'm thinking about myself like, oh, add 15 years to that equation. A $15 gift might, she's gonna
It
like
depends. It
spit
depends
in my
what it is.
soda. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know.
but you're right. Like we're talking iPad, Kindle. Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm still in that nice worldview. But yeah, so she was thrilled about that though, and we got a cool video of her. She had all of her little babies, which are like Minnie Mouse and like Snow Miser, a stuffed Snow Miser. She's like over there at the vanity putting lipstick on all fake lipstick on all these.
Nice.
But then my son, this is the year we start getting into motorized toys. So he got his, I think Power Wheels. I don't know what
Yeah.
brand it was, but it's a motorized tractor, and things got a great charge. It also comes with like an Xbox controller. So today we took it out, and this is the video I sent you guys. He rode around the entire neighborhood, but halfway through, he's like, I don't want to press this pedal anymore, but I can keep driving. So I'm
That
just
with a
like,
controller?
so yeah, and
Hmm.
I can steer with it,
Oh,
and it has
man.
I can also stop it, so if he's going to run over his sister, which almost happened yesterday,
So it's like a
stop it.
safety.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the coolest thing is that it also has a built-in Bluetooth speaker, so, like, I paired it with my phone as he's driving around and just, like, had a bunch of different country songs about tractors blaring, and so the neighborhood was put on notice today, but he loved it, and I would say that it was also awesome because I don't know. So he turns 4 in January, and so we're like right in the sweet spot. And like I told my wife yesterday, like I can't describe when he woke up and like because you can look down where we put our tree right under our stairs, and so he can look over the balcony and be like, he saw like presents.
Whoa.
Those ones were from us,
Yeah.
not from Santa. But he was like, Santa's here, Santa's here. Oh my gosh! He like comes
Yep.
screaming, and so that was awesome.
That's
And
cool.
yeah, we're at the peak of that. I've seen enough Christmas movies over the last few days though to make anybody's eyes fall out. Um, but no, it was a good one, and kind of sad. You get sad that it's over, but we got Sammy's birthday coming up soon, so it will be right back into the thick of things. What about you,
Cool.
Seth?
Well, real quick, the Power Wheels are like awesome. So you got like probably, yeah, a good another like 5 years of great time for the kids to do Power Wheels. I wish our kids had one that we thrifted from like, Facebook Marketplace because
Yeah.
they were pretty pricey and we couldn't afford like a new one. And it was a little slow. It got plenty of love in its lifetime. So it was a little bit slow, but my kids spent a lot of time, like, my daughter would drive my son around on that one, and it was like it's so fun.
Oh
And then
yeah.
they get older and everything gets way more expensive, and, so, yeah, that was cool. So Elliot, Santa brought him like, a really nice RC car,
Ooh.
Nice.
nice one. So it's like the ones where you can, like, replace all the parts.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
And so it has a pretty good charge. It doesn't take that long to charge either, and that's pretty fast. And so he kind of has got the hang of it. So that's really cool. City got a new phone. So, and then,
Seth,
Which
on
is
the
your phone is like huge. I mean,
yeah,
yeah.
it's the iPhone Pro 17.
Geez, that's a better phone than I've got.
As
Yeah.
the this is like the dumb dad comment of toddlers. Obligatory. My kids are never getting a phone, not until they leave the house.
Yeah, you say that. You
I
say
know,
that.
I
So,
had to say it.
yeah, I mean, for for our daughter's age group, it was like 11, so 5th grade, where
Yeah.
like more than probably 50% of her class had a phone in 5th grade. And so you start to get a lot. I think it's like based on the percentage of kids that have a phone
The
sways
pressure.
the pressure. And then, and so she got one when she turned 11, and it was a little I mean, this is a whole topic, but kids change dramatically once they have a device like an iPhone. And
Oh
it's
yeah.
even like the difference between an iPad, they interact differently with an iPad
Hmm.
than whereas the iPhone becomes like part of their body. It actually becomes part of their hand. Like, I don't know if you right, like
Yep.
it's like glued to their hand, and they can't, you know, they have to. It's so that's unfortunate. So I don't know. Like, our son will probably be like, we're gonna hold off if we can, like 12 or 13.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I
We
hoping
were
got,
son will be
13. I
like
think
32.
13 was it was like the teenage cutoff.
yeah.
I don't know. they're not bad with it. Is the iPads are definitely consume more content on an iPad because it's a bigger screen.
Interesting.
But that is definitely another topic
Yeah,
because
sorry.
I could go on a tangent about that.
To jump back though, I'm interested in this RC car. Because I had a kind of a thing like this when I was a kid. It wasn't like super fast or anything, but I don't even know if they're still out because I think Radio Shack had the
So
exclusive.
there's in Batavia, there's a
Yeah.
Hobby Town USA.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
And I have also seen the RC cars there, even though Santa brought us one. And so they have like a track on the inside. So you can get like
In the
drifting
summer, they do
cars.
one in the parking lot.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And then they do actually at the Elburn Days, the festival that they have, they
Oh,
do like
yeah.
a dirt track.
Yep.
So he has like an off-road one. So it could definitely do the
Yeah.
dirt track. Like it'll like ramp off the curb. And I'm pretty sure with the right ramp, it could do like a 6-foot jump, no problem. Yeah. But
See,
then you
these
can like,
ones that I had were called X mods, but there was like I think I had a Dodge Challenger. Like it was like a real car, but
yeah.
then the whole thing about it was that like you bought a stock car and then you could go they had like upgrade kits. So you could upgrade the shocks, you could upgrade the bat and like
Yeah.
it wasn't gas, so you couldn't like upgrade the engine,
Yeah.
but you could upgrade the engine inside of it, the motor.
Yeah. The
And like
gearbox.
yes.
Yeah.
And so like but it was like so you were building it to be like a better performing vehicle, or you could add the touring package and make it like ride low to the ground or whatever. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. They have like, so he has off-road tires. So he can get
Yeah.
like, I think they can get like street tires. So
Yeah.
they grip better, like on smooth pavement or
Yep.
whatever. So I'm
So
kind of
it
hoping
goes
that,
faster. Like
yeah, it goes faster. And there's like in this nicer one, the controller will do like 100% power, 50 or 75% power and 50% power. So like as he's trying to like learn, so we started out in 50 and within one day he moved to 75, not because he was ready, just because he could, you know. so so yeah, hopefully he likes doing it and then it could give him something, real world to play with and do.
Yeah.
So
It's not virtual. That is a real world activity.
yeah.
Then you got to learn how to fix them, and
Yeah, I think it could be kind of fun,
yeah,
So we'll
I think
see.
it's good. I like
Yeah.
RC cars. Always have.
Yeah, and then
We
they
got a
have some
giant. We got like a RC car for my cousin's kid a couple years ago, and he tore that thing through our house like crazy. It was awesome. We
yeah,
gave it to him like on Christmas Eve. It was like the biggest box. I remember taking it out of the store. It was a huge box, and his eyes when he saw that thing, he was probably like 6.
yeah.
When he saw that thing, oh my gosh. Yeah.
Do you
When
remember
my cousin saw that thing, I don't think she had the same look on her face.
do you guys remember like the old school RC car controllers and how terrible they were?
With the
It was
circle?
like it was like a trigger,
Yeah.
but the wheel
Yeah.
was on the
Like a
side.
handle and
Same.
you turn it.
Same,
Yeah.
same thing.
Hated that. Like, why couldn't they just like make it like go left, go right, like a controller?
Mm-mm.
I hated that little like turn the wheel.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I was never good at that. All right. Topic. We got to get into this because last
Okay.
week I teased a big announcement, kind of caught you guys off guard. Although it was in our notes, so it shouldn't have
I
caught
think
you
I
off guard. But
suggested.
anyways, this is going to come to fruition at the beginning of 2026, and we're almost there. And I'm calling it the Plant Fantasy Draft. And it's sort of loosely inspired by a game we used to play with a friend in the industry about trading genetics. And would you trade this genetic? Would you trade the wave family of petunias for the calliope family of geraniums, that kind of thing. And I would play this, and then Mason got in on the game a little bit with one of our buddies in the industry. But anyways, I'm going to call this the Plant Fantasy Draft. I want to record it for next week's podcast to kick off the year. And here are the basics, because I know you didn't read the notes. The basics are, and we really haven't discussed this formally, which is fun. So we can kick around the details here and fine tune it however we want. But my idea is the three of us, no guests, the three of us draft a fantasy team of 12 plants. You got a 10-player team and then 2 bench players. and we choose it from a finite list of about 50 or so top plants. I've already put the list together. We can add to it. It's, again, no rules particularly, but my only real rules are that I think we should stick to spring plants, so like annuals, perennials, and vegetables. So we got this finite list of plants, not variety names, like plant names. And then we build our teams like kind of a classic snake draft where you pick the person who drafts first and then second and then third. And then the next round, the person who went third gets to go first. And we just go back and forth that way to kind of make it fair. Randomly select the first team to draft. We do have to name our teams, which will be interesting. And then our teams that we select, because there's really no way to have a season. Like, I was trying to think of how we could do this, and I was like, well, we can pull sales data, but that's weird, and I don't really want to go to that effort on this because it's for fun. But we can let the viewers and listeners and other people in the industry, like, we can post our teams on LinkedIn and let people vote over the course of a month, and maybe we time the announcement of the winner like the same weekend as the Super Bowl or something. What are we thinking?
How are we going to pick the draft order?
Randomly. I mean, we got three of us, so you can do a little random number generator, unless you have a better idea. I mean, I'm not gonna wrestle you if that's what you want.
Can we okay, that seems like to be the easy part, but like how do you like would it be just 2 lists of 10? Or I guess like 3 lists of 10 and then people
will be like, who drafted best? Who's the
right? We'd have like
Mason's
Mason's team, Bill's team, Seth's team. People would look at it and go, oh, I think they're missing, they're weak on the perennials or something.
I know, like, I'm probably like the least sportsy potentially. I mean,
yes,
we don't
definitely.
Okay, possibly. So, anyways,
potentially,
like, a team of 10 seems heavy, right? Like, there's a lot. Should we make it less? Like, do like team of 5? Like,
No.
this is like the
we could split the difference and do 7.
7.
So is it basically like what was it? 5 annuals.
So I was thinking, 5 annuals, 2 perennials, and 1 vegetable at least on your team, and that's already
your roster spots.
Yeah, because otherwise, I'm just thinking like, wouldn't it be like the same 10 basically? Then
no, because then they're off the board.
If somebody
once I draft geranium, it's off the board.
Well, that's the picking the team.
Yeah.
Right? Like, do you pick the team each week?
No.
I'm confused. I don't know how this works anymore.
We're picking it, and then we're just going by that. Like, how strong is your team that you have selected
each week?
No.
Once. Okay.
We can do it in the future for a different category of plants.
Seth, if we need to do a mock draft with you beforehand,
we might have to.
Yeah. Okay. And then like, is it the winner would be like, it's like thinking like you're on the front of the store and these are the 10 plants and like which ones would sell the most? Like if you went to a garden center and you had the opportunity for these 10 or these 10, I don't know if you can see my hand, it's off screen, but like, this 10 or this 10 or this 10, who would be more attractive?
Well, or you can look at it as who's got the strongest assortment, because if, I know you like Brunnera, and if you draft Brunnera and I draft perennial dianthus, I'm gonna crush you. Like,
what? I thought like all the deer would eat you.
All right, so if the deer are voting, they might actually prefer my team.
Yeah,
they're voting for Bill's team.
Yeah, they're like, we are anti-Brunnera.
I think we need to, whoever drafts perennial dianthus gets an auto +1 to the vote for deer.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But I think that people can vote on it however they want. Like, what do they like? What do they know? Like, sells better. Like, I mean, you got Hosta or daylilies. Like, those are pretty solid competitors, I would imagine, at a garden center space. But if, you put them up against, I don't know, tuberous begonias, you're going to
there's some strategy at play here too.
Yeah.
Because in your first round, you're probably thinking like between like one of the 2 petunias and geranium. But you're probably also thinking, you got to think there are fewer perennials that are in that top list So
Yeah.
you got to be like, so like I may
Right.
want to take perennial #1 overall because I know it's going to block you guys. I'm also willing to see, where we get picks. I trade a first for 2 seconds, a
2
first and a third for
seconds.
2 seconds.
There could be a trade element. We gotta figure that out. We gotta think that through.
Well, maybe that's why
Because
we
if
give it
I've
some.
got my heart set on Garden Mums, which is a huge category, obviously, and Mason grabs Garden Mums, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, that's why I think maybe we don't do the voting. The voting is we give it some time because we might have to post, hey, here's the
Some
lineup,
trades.
the official lineup.
Yeah.
So, but I'm
Okay.
in on this. I just
Okay.
lost all my
Seth, what do
fantasy
you think?
football
Seth,
season.
you seem skeptical, but I think if
No, I'm
we
just
do a
trying to
mock
catch
draft,
up. I don't think I've done a fantasy draft for like a decade because I was confused a decade ago and it's not gotten any better. So I'm just like my brain is it's because I'm off, right? Like I haven't used my brain as
that's
like
fair.
the same caliber. So I'm probably just slower than normal.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably filled with Christmas cookies and
Yeah.
ham.
Ham.
Would you
Yeah.
guys what was on the
Ham.
Christmas table? What was on the Christmas table yesterday? Mason, you had kind of a weird one. We've talked about this.
But the important thing to note is that smoked wings, they were $2.49 a pound, raw wings. So I bought over 5 pounds of wings, did 5 flavors, cherry cola dry rub that I found, Cajun dry rub, buffalo, hot barbecue, teriyaki,
Ooh. Oh
and
man.
then we did a ham.
All right,
I
fair.
smoked them for 4 hours, low and slow.
Low.
We did a ham. We did like a honey baked spiral ham. It was good, but we also had like cheesy potatoes and broccoli casserole, which is good, and Jello. It was a pretty standard Christmas meal at our family. What was on your table, Seth?
It was kind of a mixed bag. We always go to my parents for Christmas. So I'm trying to remember. It was like chili,
I like that.
I'd say.
chili, fries, mac and cheese. There was like a lunch item and then like a dinner item. But there was enough food for lunch that you didn't really need dinner.
See, and that's what we did.
So
We axed dinner halfway through the day. We were like, we're going to keep cooking this food, but we're not going to have an official dinner.
yeah, we had
See, we did
taco
the
dip.
opposite. We do like a brunch with my parents in the morning. They come over, unwrap some gifts, and then we pretty much get everything reset and then drive out to my in-laws. So we had a legit breakfast and a legit dinner with a lot of cookies and the mixed nuts tray,
Yeah.
which I love. So chocolate covered pretzels is a big hit. We
Yeah.
did about 180 Christmas cookies at our house, just cut out cookies frosted by my wife, my girls.
Like you meant
like,
you ate 180 cookies.
Well, that's
I
not been
mean,
confirmed. Did he
over the
eat
course of the
180?
week?
Did you eat
Maybe.
180 or you make
No.
180?
No.
Made
Oh.
180.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're very popular.
We didn't make any cookies this year.
All
Yeah.
right.
Apparently, I heard a story that my grandma and my aunt used to make so many Christmas cookies that when my mom and dad were like dating in high school, my mom came over for the first time and went down in the basement and saw the spread of Christmas cookies just laid out across every table and the washer and dryer, like just laid out everywhere. And she said her just jaw dropped. Like that was back in the late 60s. And I guess the Christmas cookie game back then was legit because you weren't buying them in the store. You were making them in like 10 different kinds.
Yeah, I don't, because I've been cutting back on I've been adjusting my diet. So I eat like way less cookies and cake, like all that good stuff. So I think it was just, it's a lot of work. It's like super messy. So we went the easy route. We bought like already made cookies. The kids decorated some and then called it a day. Yeah. So
2 thumbs down.
Yeah, decorating store-bought cookies. I mean, I'm not here to judge. I'm glad that you're on
I put
a
lipstick
journey
on that
to
ham yesterday
reduce the
too.
sugar. I think that's fair, but
whatever. Our next topic.
anyways.
By the way,
next topic.
I just want to chime in. I also think a hilarious note is that my son refers to Christmas ham as big ham.
Big ham.
So like all day.
It's not like lunch meat ham. It's like a.
So he's like, we're like, and sometimes from now on until like New Year, we'll be like, what do you want to eat? And he did this last year too. And he just screams from the playroom. He's like, I need big ham, big ham. So it's great. Love that time of year.
That's good. I do like big ham. I'm not a big ham fan. I like bacon. I like things that are made from the same magical animal, but
Mm.
ham, not always my favorite, but I would agree with Sammy. I do like big ham
Big ham.
better than any other type of ham.
But yeah, bacon is better than ham, right?
But
Yeah.
now you can make soup out of the leftover ham, which is also a really good call.
Got a good
Mm.
recipe for that if you guys want it.
But I believe you do. All right. Do we have any shout outs or hot takes?
I have a shout out, and it's a relevant industry shout out. So I took this week off, Monday and Tuesday, right? We didn't have anything planned. It was just kind of like hanging out with family. And so I planned an activity on Monday and took the family to Platte Hill up in the Carpentersville area. So shout out to Platte Hill. Took my family in there.
Nursery and Garden Center.
Yes. And it was fantastic. The folks in there were super nice. I was talking to the lady wrapping poinsettias for a while because I also got some poinsettias while I was there. I'm probably late to the poinsettia game, but it was the first real opportunity that I had to get them, and I knew I didn't have to stop anywhere on the way home, so they'd be safe in my car. And I want the big poinsettia I got was pink, and we bought a
Nice.
4-inch red as like a little like almost like a floral decoration.
Yeah.
But the big one was like a lipstick pink because my daughter's obsessed with pink and she was like, ooh. But my kids were obsessed with the cat that they had running around in there and they were chasing this cat all over. Also, all of the Christmas decorations, they do Christmas great up there. And they also have a train, like a Christmas train in this display that you push the button and it goes. And it's not like you push it and it goes the whole loop. Like you have to keep pushing it for the train to go. And so they loved that. But yeah, shout out to Platte Hill. Fantastic place. And it was like a surprise for my wife and kids that I actually planned an event for once. And they also had Jax there. So I was double duty. Took a photo. So yeah, no, that was one of the highlights of my week. Like everybody seemed to be clicking there. And
you can entertain kids at a garden center. Like,
oh yeah.
We used to take the girls to the garden center when they were that age, and they just run around. There was sometimes like a koi pond they could stick their hands in, and plants and dirt, like everything kids like.
My kids were thrilled because the lady at the checkout also gave them a flower sticker each. And they happen to have a pink one and an orange one, which Sammy is orange and Daphne is all pink. It worked out.
I like it.
Yeah, we had two. I had like 2 great summers where Elliot liked going to the garden center, but specifically he liked doing videos at the garden center. Like he was big into like,
you used to do
YouTube videos. What?
I said he probably was watching you do all those silly videos that we used to do.
So we would basically like, I'd be like, hey, if we go to the garden center, we'll like a video you like talking about the plants. So then he'd be walking around, be like, I like this one because it's reddish brown. And then he'd like walk. He was probably like, let's see, he's 9 now. He's probably like 6 or 7. It's kind of like right, like it's probably like 2022-ish like that. That was a lot of fun. It's good to get the kids.
Hey, make a note of that, Bill. Possible Seth replacement in the future.
Yeah.
You just ask Elliot to be the host.
There you go. Yeah. Do you so when you were there and you saw your Jax fertilizer, did you find yourself talking out loud how great it is? You're like, oh my God, this Jax fertilizer is the best in the whole store. And I haven't found it anywhere. I'm so lucky to find this.
We were there at Monday when it opened. So I can't say.
There was probably 100 other people there waiting.
There were not, sadly, for Platte Hill. But I'm going to guess it is not a busy time of the week to go, hence why I wanted to go.
No. Yeah.
So no, I did not act crazy like that. But
okay.
I did take some photos and I sent back to the crew. It was like, hey, I'm here.
But did you like talk to the staff, be like, I'm kind of an expert at the Blue Hand, and if you have any questions, I know stuff.
Were you incognito? That actually would be an interesting topic. Like when we used to roll into garden centers, did we go incognito or did we shout out who we represented and try to get some fame and glory?
It depends. In this instance, I brought it up in conversation, but I wasn't like, I didn't walk in because I was with my family.
The conversation.
Yeah, I wasn't like, hey, I'm Mason Day from Jax, but I'm also always wearing, and I did switch hats.
Right.
This one says Jax Fertilizer Small. I wore my other one that pretty much is just like a billboard that says Jax Fertilizer. And so, yeah, so I slip it in, but unless I'm on official business, then that's when I'm like, "Hey, I'm on Jack's," or like I'm
Mm.
traveling on a work trip or like going out to like actually look at what they have. But this was truly, I truly needed to buy poinsettias. That's why we went. So I didn't want to be weird about it. And I
I
always
can
like, I always feel like if I do that, sometimes people think like I'm fishing for a discount or
Yeah.
trying to get something for free, and I'm never actually doing. I actually brought up points that we talked about because I didn't see any spray painted ones, and I was like, "Oh, do
Mm.
you guys paint poinsettias?" And then she didn't know a whole lot about painting poinsettias. I don't think that they do because I didn't see any, and I didn't see any paint. But then we got talking about, I was like, "I like the novelty colors," and she was like, "Oh, yeah, my favorite one's this one." And then I was like, we got talking about nutrition, and I was like, "Oh, we have specific fertilizers that we make for poinsettias." And so that's how it came up, but it
There
was
you go.
really, yeah, that seemed to, I was trying to be genuine.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
I always I find myself forgetting that I'm there for, like, fun or personal
Mhm.
reasons, and so I kinda, like, just start walking back to the like, the greenhouse, like, the production part of the greenhouse,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm just kinda like, "Oh, I wonder what's going on back here, like, what are they growing?" They're like, Sir, you're not allowed to be back here." I'm like, "Oh, I'm from the industry, like, I think you
They're
guys
like,
probably got
Oh,
these
I've
plants
pulled
pretty"
that many
right?
times.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm just like, I'm from Ball, you know, and I'm just, like, seeing what you're growing." They're like, "Sir, you're not allowed to be back here." I'm like,
"We
"Oh,
don't care who you are."
okay."
I usually pull the whole like, "Oh, how's business? Anything you guys are selling that you're surprised to be selling this time of year?" And then I usually sort of fold into the conversation. Yeah, I'm in the same industry, been doing it a long time. Who do you work for? I work for Ball. Oh, this and that. I'm like, you probably,
Mhm.
know wave petunias or knockout roses. And then the conversation. And then they either want you out of there because they're like, this
You're
is
not
boring
allowed.
conversation and we want to make money and we know
Yeah.
you're not going to buy, you're not our demographic. So, but it tends to go well. All right. Anyone else have a shout out or I have a hot take?
Yeah.
Oh,
And this is a follow up on a shout out.
oh.
So, you guys want to hear the end of the Costco Christmas tree saga?
Yes.
Mm.
Not good.
Ooh.
Beautiful tree, looked fantastic. I fresh cut the end. I mean, I cut the end off, put it in. Normally, it starts sucking up water. This thing never really drew up any of the water from the base.
Mm.
Kind of popped it up, repositioned it. No, no, no. The thing is dry as a bone. And about 3 days before Christmas, someone threw a ball for my dog and she ran into the Christmas tree. And I think three-quarters of the needles dropped. And so the whole joke for the last, I don't know, maybe that was 4 days ago. The last 3 or 4 days has been don't touch the tree. Like, because if you touch a branch, all the needles drop. Like every needle drops. So like I'm like, don't throw the dog's ball toward the tree. Like kids, do not touch the tree. You see the cat walking over there. I'm like, get away
Yeah.
from the tree. And not because I don't want the tree to come down, because every needle will fall. So now my challenge, which I'm probably gonna be dealing with here in the next hour, is how am I getting this tree out of my house while the reservoir is filled with water? So I might use a turkey baster to suction it out. Like I've
Mm.
been thinking about
You
this.
can't just
I
pop
might
it
have
out?
to. I haven't taken the ornaments off, and we have a lot of like ornaments. Like we're a big ornament family. So
Mm.
I'm gonna, and then the lights, because obviously I strung the lights myself and put them onto the branches through like the weave in the lights. I'm gonna lose. I mean, this thing's gonna be bare by the time, and it's gonna be all over my house. You
I
can't
think you
use
should
the
just
regular vacuum on it. You got to use a shop vac.
Mm.
This
I
is
think you
gonna be this is gonna be a nightmare for me, and that's why we should just keep this podcast going until my parents come for dinner,
yeah.
and then I don't have to deal with it.
You should just
My
go
tree
all
didn't suck up any water either, Bill.
Yeah, because it's fake. Don't start with me.
Bill, you should just go all into the and just, like, shake all the needles off. Get them
Yeah,
I
all
don't
off
think
at
I
the
that's
have
the
an
same spot.
option.
that's the best option.
I feel
Yeah.
like I'm gonna have to lay it down on a tarp. Like
Mm.
this is how bad this is gonna be.
No, but if you get all the needles off, all
Yeah,
of them, and
then
just, like, give
they're
it a
not
good
gonna fall off.
shake,
Have you
and then
tried
they
to
fall
vacuum needle? Well, no, you don't because you guys have fake
Yeah.
trees. But vacuuming needles, and of course, I don't buy the
Could you do a
Dyson
controlled burn?
vacuum. I use the
Mhm.
cheapest
There you go.
Walmart vacuum. This thing's
Oh.
gonna get clogged. This is gonna
Mm.
be
We have
a
4
bad
vacuums.
news.
My wife's obsessed with vacuums. We have 4 different types.
Use
You
a
got
rake,
one.
Bill.
A
Or
rake is
Get
probably
a
what's
rake.
gonna be
what
needed.
about Seth? What about a controlled burn? Like,
Oh, there we go.
like just designate it, corner it off. Be like, hey, we're gonna
Burn a tree in my house.
sacrifice this portion of the carpet. We're gonna open a window, let the smoke out. I think it's a
I
good
don't
idea.
know. Anyways,
It's a
not
good
not a
idea,
shout out,
and I
not
like it.
really a hot take. Will I buy a tree at Costco next year? It's
Probably.
$55. I might. Like, I
Right.
might go back and
Just buy it
I
2
don't
weeks
know.
later.
Well,
And
you
I'm
got a few.
thinking it's because of the transport, right? I mean, it's how many of these trees were packed up probably weeks ahead of shipping. They probably dried out in shipping, never wanted to take on water. I don't know. So,
Was it
Yeah.
outside when you bought it? Oh no, inside, right?
no,
It's
it was
like
in
right
like the
inside
car
Costco.
corral area. So, anyways, anyone
Yeah.
else have I'm done discussing it. I'm just sort of traumatized by this. Any more shout outs or hot takes before we close?
Think so.
Seth, you
Nah,
got
I don't got
anything?
any.
You don't have to. All
No.
right. Any closing thoughts on the holiday season? I feel like New Year's Eve is an overrated holiday. There's a hot take.
Not a hot take. Agreed.
Yeah, most people tend to agree. Like I feel like there were some years where we got pretty rowdy on New Year's Eve, but that's like a very slim timeline in your life chronology. Most of the time it's like trying to keep an eye open till midnight. I don't know.
We're going to a party like for kids, and where they do the ball drop at 8. So that's like
Mm,
8 is my New Year's
yeah.
Eve, and then everybody leaves. Our
Oh,
friends have it. We've been a couple years. It's very fun, but
That's
the
cool.
holiday itself. So if they're listening, your party is great. That awesome. But the
Mhm.
holiday itself, I feel like is
right.
like we talk about Thanksgiving being pre-Christmas. New Year's is just like I need like one last shot of Christmas in my veins before
Maybe. I
this is
can kind
over.
of agree.
All right.
And then the calendar turns over and the days the same. The next day is like, well, I like New Year's Day. We do a nice New Year's Day dinner at my aunt's house, which involves all the traditional black eyed peas and sausage and all the stuff that I
the
love.
band.
But
That's what I thought. I was like, "Will I am?" and Fergie.
See, I know stuff about music.
so,
Okay, so like since you commented on a hot take, I'm gonna comment on a different hot take where and this pains me because I don't. No, I mean, I support Mason and I like it when he's maybe right, but I don't like to say it out loud very often. With the decorating for Christmas, not maybe on the inside, but the outside, because I always, for 9 years in a row, I did my Christmas lights the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
yeah.
And this year we had the snow in Chicagoland. It's the first time it snowed that weekend in like probably at least over a dozen years. And so I didn't do any Christmas lights this year because the snow stayed
Mm,
around for three and a
The
half,
last
four
week.
weeks. Yeah, till last week. And I'm not going to put up Christmas lights for like 6 days.
yeah.
But
All the
we're
Seth's
also
neighbors were like, "Humbug."
well, we're kind of a family where like we like to like be all in for the Christmas decorations, and then like after Christmas, it's like we're done. We don't like
Get
to
'em
do
out.
like the Christmas lights and stuff. So yeah, so I felt a little bit unspecial this year without the lights. So I think maybe Mason might have been on to something. If
He
I
it's a
was.
warm
Yeah.
weekend midway through November, maybe it's not such a bad idea. So
Yeah, I will
Mason,
agree.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
also converted. I texted Mason the day I was putting up my Christmas lights in friggin' snow, and it was insanely cold. I was freezing, and I'm up there trying to put these clips in the gutter. I'm digging the snow with my gloved
Mm,
hands. It was a horrible experience. It looks really good. And then I went overboard, like wrapped all the posts in front, like the poles on my
yeah.
porch. And now I'm looking at it like it's supposed to be decent this week. I'm going to take these suckers down quick.
That's what I was thinking, is that I'm not leaving them
So,
up because if it stays this warm, Imma
yep.
take it down.
Yeah, me
So,
too. I'm gonna walk outside, remember that I didn't put any up, and I'll be done.
Yeah, that's nice.
maybe Seth's onto something.
Maybe it is. I might go down that route soon. But anyways, I think that's a wrap, gentlemen,
Alright.
for
All
today.
right.
Before
I
we
gotta
get out of
start
here,
doing some mock drafts on my
yeah,
plants.
And
yeah, we got to do that. We got to make sure Seth understands this strategy so he's not picking with ignorance and losing because
I
he's
I
got
I
Brunera as his quarterback.
I probably will. So,
We'll figure it out. No, you probably won't. You know cool plants just as
mm.
well as
I had
anybody.
to Google Brunera while we were talking to see if I
What?
knew what that looked like.
Yeah, Seth introduced two of them last year. They looked
Huge.
exactly the same. I'm not gonna lie. They were This actually will be a really good topic for a future podcast.
Awesome.
Why you introduce two of
Right.
something when they look exactly the same. And I understand maybe the size was like inches different, maybe.
No, like it was 1.5 inches larger. So you could put it in a bigger pie. You just caught it at a bad
All
time.
right.
It's
I don't know, but I will say that same company has some really awesome introductions this year. It's actually a really, really big year for Darwin Perennials. So I don't want to hate on the Brunnera. Love the company. Definitely like my paycheck. Anyways, please subscribe and follow and share the podcast with your friends. Be a friend. Tell a friend about it if you think they'll like it. It's not for everyone, definitely for someone. And of course, jump back in the archives on YouTube or Spotify. Listen to the first 5 episodes. They're awesome. Follow us on Instagram at GH Squad Pod. And we'll be back next week for the first Plant Fantasy Draft.